It's a typical morning at the prestigious Clearwater Motors, a high-end dealership known for selling luxury cars to the city's elite. The showroom gleams with polished vehicles, and Charlie Dawson, the manager, oversees everything with a sense of superiority. He's worked his way to the top, and he's not afraid to show it. But today, things are about to take a turn that he never saw coming. Sierra Brooks walks through the dealership's doors, exuding confidence. Her steps echo on the marble floors, and she's dressed to impress. No one would guess she wasn't a regular customer. Charlie looks her up and down with an arrogant smirk, instantly assuming he knows her story. "What are you doing here? You can't afford these cars. You need to leave." But Sierra just smiles, unfazed. "Excuse me?" she says, her voice calm but filled with a knowing confidence. Why is Charlie acting this way? Why is he so sure of himself? Who is this woman, really? Little does Charlie know, this woman is about to change his life forever. What Charlie doesn't realize is that Sierra Brooks isn't just any customer. She's the new owner of the dealership, and today he's about to learn a hard lesson in humility. As Sierra steps further into the showroom, her presence commands attention. She's a woman of color, dressed sharply and radiating a confidence that contrasts sharply with the air of entitlement that Charlie Dawson exudes. Charlie, sizing her up, takes in the way she carries herself, but he doesn't know her. He doesn't know what she's capable of. All he sees is another potential customer, someone he's sure can't afford what's on offer. He glances her over dismissively, a smug expression creeping across his face as he steps toward her. "You can't afford these cards," Charlie says with a sneer. "You need to leave." His words hang in the air, heavy with his implicit bias. He doesn't realize how much he's underestimating her. Around the showroom, the employees begin to notice the interaction. Some try to look away, while others exchange nervous glances. They've seen this side of Charlie before. For them, it's not a surprise. Charlie's racism and arrogance have been a problem for a while now. They've witnessed him treat people differently, based on their appearance, their race, their presumed status. But no one ever dares to speak up. The tension in the room is palpable. Some employees shuffle uncomfortably, while others seem to want to speak out but stay silent. But Sierra, she remains calm. Her face remains composed, and there's no sign of hesitation in her step. She's been ready for this moment. She knows how people like Charlie operate. She's not rattled, not for a second. Charlie, thinking he's won this battle, continues with his dismissive attitude, but Sierra just stands there, letting him make the first move. She's in control, and he has no idea what's coming next. As the tension between Sierra and Charlie reaches a boiling point, Charlie makes his next move. Without hesitation, he points toward the door. "You clearly don't belong here, and you're wasting my time. Please leave now." His words are cold, dismissive, and full of entitlement, as if he has the right to decide who does or doesn't belong in his showroom. Sierra stands her ground, not even flinching. Her expression is calm, but there's a quiet intensity in her eyes. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows that what Charlie doesn't realize is about to turn his world upside down. Charlie's behavior was outrageous, but Sierra's next words will be the true game changer. She speaks, her voice steady but firm. "I'm the new owner of this place. You've just been fired." For a moment the words hang in the air. Charlie's face is frozen, unable to process what just happened. The reality doesn't seem to sink in. He stumbles, shaking his head in disbelief. He tries to laugh it off, to pretend like she's joking. "You must be joking. There's no way this is happening," Charlie says, trying to convince himself more than her. But Sierra's gaze doesn't waver. She stands tall, calm as ever, as Charlie's world begins to crumble around him. They follow with shouts. His mind races, but there's no denying what she just said. The shock is written all over his face. As he realizes that he's about to lose everything, his position, his privilege, his comfort, he falters, but it's too late. The damage has already been done, and for Sierra, this is just the beginning. As the shock settles in, Sierra remains composed, her presence unwavering. She doesn't flinch under Charlie's frantic gaze. Instead, she takes control of the situation with quiet authority. With a calm but firm voice, she begins to speak, her words deliberate and powerful. "Things are going to change around here, Charlie," Sierra says, her eyes never leaving his. "I've got a vision for this dealership: inclusivity, diversity, and above all, respect. For all customers, for all employees." The words are clear, cutting through the tension in the room. This is a moment of transformation, not just for the dealership, but for everyone involved. Charlie, stunned and desperate, tries to salvage what little dignity he has left. He stammers, his voice trembling as he tries to backpedal, to fix what he's done. "Please, I can work harder, I can be better, just give me a chance, I swear. I won't make that mistake again." But Sierra's expression hardens. She's heard it all before. The empty promises, the hollow apologies from people who've never learned their lesson. She isn't swayed. "I don't tolerate that kind of behavior," she says sharply. "You're not welcome here anymore, Charlie." The finality in her tone cuts through the air. There's no going back for Charlie now. His chances slip away like sand through his fingers. Sierra turns toward the employees who've been watching this unfold. They see her, they hear her, and they know things are about to change for good. With an even, unwavering voice, Sierra continues, "The dealership's policies are changing, effective immediately. We're going to focus on creating a workplace that values everyone equally. I'm introducing new initiatives for fairness, diversity, and respect. We'll treat customers and employees the way they deserve to be treated from now on." Charlie stands frozen, the reality sinking in. His grip on the business, his power, everything, is slipping through his fingers. The world he thought he controlled is being redefined by Sierra's leadership. The air is thick with tension, but it's clear a new era has begun at the dealership, and for Charlie, his time has run out. The next day, the atmosphere in the dealership is charged with whispers, mixed reactions echoing throughout the building. News of Charlie's firing has spread like wildfire. Some employees are thrilled. They've been waiting for a change, for someone who values them and treats everyone with respect. To them, Sierra's leadership is a breath of fresh air. But not all reactions are positive. A few employees, uneasy about the shift, exchange nervous glances. Skepticism lingers in the air as they wonder what this new leadership will really mean for their jobs and their future here. Sierra, undeterred by the mixed feelings, takes action immediately. She calls a meeting to introduce her new hire, a manager who embodies the values of inclusivity and diversity, someone who understands the importance of fair treatment and equal opportunity for everyone. With a calm but firm voice, Sierra also announces a new initiative, a hiring program focused solely on equality. She's creating opportunities for everyone, no matter their background, because she believes that's what's best for the dealership and for the community. Meanwhile, Charlie, now standing in the unemployment line, is a far cry from the arrogant manager he once was. Desperation has overtaken him, and he picks up his phone, dialing Sierra's number. His voice trembles when she answers. He apologizes profusely, begging for a second chance, claiming that he never meant to offend anyone, that he's learned his lesson. But Sierra, with the calm assurance of someone who knows exactly where they stand, responds without hesitation. "This is the last time we'll talk, Charlie," she says coldly. "You burned your bridges. There's no going back." With that, Sierra hangs up the phone. There's no more room for excuses, no more second chances. The decision is final. Back at the dealership, Sierra gets to work. She starts to implement the changes she's promised, starting with a community outreach program designed to give back and reflect the values she stands for. The showroom, once a space filled with old-school biases, is transformed to reflect the diversity of the customers Sierra wants to serve. It's a place where everyone, no matter who they are or where they come from, can feel welcomed and valued. As the day comes to a close, it's clear the fallout from Charlie's departure is just the beginning. The dealership is on a new path, one that reflects Sierra's vision for a more inclusive and respectful future. Charlie's world has shifted dramatically. Once a man with power and control over the dealership, he now finds himself scrambling, trying to pick up the pieces of his shattered career. The job hunt is a brutal reality for Charlie. No dealership will hire him. Word has spread fast about his behavior, and his reputation precedes him. He's quickly becoming known as a racist, with a history of mistreating customers and employees alike. At every turn, Charlie is met with rejection. His once promising career is now in ruins, and there's no one left to blame but himself. Meanwhile, Sierra is thriving. As she takes control of the dealership, she begins to see the impact of her leadership. Customers are drawn to the new atmosphere of inclusivity and respect. Word spreads about the changes she's made, and people who once felt excluded are now flocking to her dealership. Employees, who once feared the oppressive atmosphere, now speak highly of the new leadership. Sierra's vision has made the dealership a better place to work, and the community takes notice. She's not just changing the dealership, she's changing lives. The business begins to thrive, sales rise, and the showroom is filled with a diverse group of people, all eager to make their purchases. Sierra's commitment to fairness has created a brand new environment, one that reflects the values of the modern world. But for Charlie, the fallout isn't over. Desperation leads him to one final futile attempt. He shows up at the dealership, hoping beyond hope that Sierra will take him back. He wants a second chance, a way to redeem himself. As he enters the dealership, Sierra sees him immediately. She doesn't even flinch. With quiet grace, she walks over to him, her expression calm but resolute. Charlie pleads for another chance, for a place in the dealership once again. But Sierra, unwavering in her decision, gently but firmly rejects him. "You had your chance, Charlie," she says, her voice steady. "It's time to move on." Charlie stands there, defeated, realizing that his last attempt to salvage his career has failed. As Sierra turns away, it's clear that the chapter of Charlie's involvement in the dealership is over, for good. For Sierra, however, this is just the beginning. With each decision she makes, she moves further toward her goal of transforming not just the dealership, but the culture around it. A culture built on respect, inclusivity, and equality. As Sierra stands at the helm of the dealership, she takes a moment to reflect on the changes she's brought about. What was once a place of tension and exclusion has transformed into something better. For Sierra, it's more than just about running a business. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels welcome and respected. She pauses, taking in the sight of the dealership, employees working in harmony, customers from all walks of life coming and going, and the energy that now fills the space. It's a far cry from the toxic atmosphere that once prevailed here. Standing in the center of it all, Sierra knows the work isn't done, but the progress is undeniable. She turns to address her team and those around her, sharing her vision for a future built on inclusivity. "We all have a responsibility to stand up against discrimination, to create spaces where everyone can thrive," Sierra says, her voice filled with conviction. This dealership is not just about selling cars. It's about building a community, supporting one another, and showing the world that change is possible. As she speaks, the camera captures the positive atmosphere that now permeates the dealership. More narrowly than ever before, diverse customers, once hesitant, now shop with confidence, knowing they're being treated with respect. Employees work in a supportive environment, exchanging smiles and positive energy. The change Sierra dreamed of is happening right before their eyes. With each passing day, Sierra's vision is coming to life. The dealership isn't just a business anymore. It's a beacon of progress. The community around it is thriving, and Sierra knows that by continuing to uphold these values, she can make an even bigger impact on the world outside. The future is bright, and for Sierra, it's only the beginning. She's not just rewriting the rules of this dealership, she's setting a new standard for the industry. The journey wasn't just about one woman taking control of a dealership. It was about standing up against years of ingrained discrimination and changing the system from within. It's a reminder that power can be used for positive change, and that sometimes the best way to fight discrimination is to break down the walls from the inside. Sierra's story is one of resilience, transformation, and the courage to make things right. Sometimes the best way to fight discrimination is to change the system from the inside. Sierra did that, and you can too. The power of standing up for what's right, of making bold decisions, and of being the catalyst for change in a world that needs it. This is the message Sierra's journey leaves behind. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Charlie got what he deserved?